You grab your phone just to check one quick notification. 5 minutes maybe, but suddenly 40 minutes are gone. You've scrolled through videos, memes, and posts. But if I asked you right now what you actually remember, you'd probably struggle to name even 3 things. Now compare that with the last time you read a great book. Even if it was months ago, you probably still remember the characters, the plot twists, and even the lessons you took from it. That's the difference. Your phone and a book don't just entertain you in different ways. They train your brain in completely opposite directions. One is making your mind scattered and impatient, while the other is building focus, memory, and even creativity. And if you've been feeling distracted, unmotivated, or like your thoughts are all over the place, trust me, your phone has a lot to do with it. In today's video, I'll show you exactly what happens inside your brain when you spend hours on your phone versus when you spend time reading a book. And by the end, you'll see why reading might be the key to unlocking a sharper, stronger, and more disciplined mind. Welcome to Mental Upgrade, where you learn how to master your mind so you can master your life. 2. The phone and its negative impact on your brain. Your phone isn't just a tool, it's a slot machine in your pocket. Every notification, every like, every new video is designed to trigger your brain's reward system by releasing dopamine. That's the exact same mechanism casinos use to keep people pulling the lever, hoping for the next hit. The dangerous part? You don't even notice it happening. You tell yourself, I'll just check Instagram real quick. But suddenly, 30 minutes are gone. And when you finally close the app, you feel empty. You didn't learn anything, you didn't create anything, you just numbed your brain for a while. And this constant flood of stimulation literally rewires your brain. You get addicted to instant rewards. Important tasks like studying, working, or even having deep conversations feel boring and too slow. Your focus shatters. You can't stick with one thing for more than a few seconds before your mind jumps to something else. Here's a shocking fact. A study by Microsoft found that the average human attention span dropped from 12 seconds in the year 2000 to just 8 seconds today. That's less than a goldfish, which can focus for 9 seconds. So what happens when your attention is constantly drained? You feel anxious because you rarely finish anything. Your memory weakens since your brain never processes information deeply. You lose patience easily because you've trained yourself to avoid boredom at all costs. It's like living in scattered mode all the time. You consume a huge amount, but you retain almost nothing. It's mental junk food, fast, cheap, and addictive. It fills you up in the moment, but it leaves your mind weak and unfocused in the long run. 3. The book and its positive impact on your brain. Now let's flip to the opposite side. The book. Opening a book isn't just passing time. It's like putting your brain into a mental gym. When you read, your brain shifts into deep focus. Your prefrontal cortex takes control. Your working memory lights up, and your imagination begins to build detailed mental images. You don't just read about a story, you actually live it inside your head. Researchers at Stanford found that deep reading activates multiple regions of the brain at once: language, reasoning, empathy, and even sensory perception. That means every time you pick up a book, you're strengthening neural connections that improve every part of your life, from studying and working to relationships and creativity. Here are just a few proven benefits of reading. Stronger concentration. Just 20 minutes of reading a day trains your brain to hold focus longer. Sharper memory. Following complex plots forces you to remember details, characters, and events. It's like lifting weights for your memory. Better communication. You absorb new words, styles, and ideas, which makes you more articulate and persuasive. Creativity and empathy. By stepping into different perspectives, you expand your ability to think outside the box and understand others. Lower stress. Studies show that only 6 minutes of reading can reduce stress levels by up to 68%. And here's the key difference. Phone scrolling gives you quick pleasure that disappears instantly, but books leave lasting traces in your brain. The connections you build while reading stay with you, helping you focus, think deeply, and process complex ideas long after you've closed the cover. Think of a book like Harry Potter or The Lord of the Rings. To follow the story, you need to remember dozens of characters, places, and events, constantly connecting them in your mind. That mental effort is exactly what strengthens your focus, memory, and reasoning, something no 30-second TikTok could ever do. In short, books train your brain for depth, clarity, and discipline. Phones train your brain for distraction, impatience, and surface-level thinking. 4. Direct comparison. Phone versus book. Let's put them side by side. Phone versus book. Your phone is like mental fast food. Quick, easy, addictive, but shallow. You consume massive amounts of content, but you retain almost nothing. Your brain gets used to constant stimulation without depth. A book, on the other hand, is like a full, nourishing meal. It forces you to slow down, to think, to imagine, and to remember. Every page is a workout that strengthens your focus, memory, reasoning, and even empathy. Example in real life: 1 hour on your phone, you scroll through endless videos and posts. At the end, you feel mentally drained and you barely remember anything. 1 hour reading a book. You might only cover a few pages, but your mind feels sharper, calmer, and more creative at the same time. Summary of the comparison: phone creates a reactive, impatient, distracted mind. Book builds an analytical, patient, focused mind. And here's the most important part: what you practice daily is shaping your brain. Every scroll, every page, every choice is literally training the way you think, learn, and even how you see the world. 5. How to start reading more. Now that you understand the impact of both phones and books, here's the big question. How do you actually start reading more when your phone is constantly vying for your attention? Here are some practical strategies. Create a reading corner. It doesn't have to be fancy. A comfy chair, a small lamp, or even a cozy pillow on the floor. The goal is to give your brain a visual cue. This is reading time. Start small. Don't try to finish a massive book in a week. Begin with 10-15 minutes a day. Small, consistent steps beat willpower any day. Pick books you actually enjoy. Fiction, biographies, personal growth, whatever sparks curiosity. When you enjoy reading, it stops feeling like a chore and becomes a pleasure. Eliminate distractions. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Silence notifications. Physical books help too. They don't pop up with endless alerts. Use reading as relaxation. Before bed or during a coffee break, just 15 minutes can slow your mind, reduce stress, and even improve sleep quality. Turn it into a ritual, always the same time or place, after breakfast, during a commute, if you're not driving, before bed. Once it becomes a habit, your brain automatically switches to reading mode. Bonus tip: combine reading with reflection. After a chapter, jot down insights or ideas. This reinforces learning and keeps your brain active longer. The goal isn't to compete with your phone, it's to develop habits that strengthen your mind and transform the way you think. Small adjustments in your environment and routine make reading more natural, without relying on sheer willpower. Remember, phone scrolling trains your brain for shallow thinking and distraction. Reading trains your brain for focus, clarity, and creativity. Every page is a brick in the foundation of a stronger mind. So now you see it clearly. Spending hours on your phone and reading books are not the same thing. Phones train your brain for distraction, impatience, and surface-level thinking. Books train your brain for focus, memory, creativity, and deep understanding. And here's the most important part. It's not about reading huge books all at once. It's about building a consistent reading habit. Every page you read daily is a brick in the foundation of a stronger, sharper mind. Challenge. For you, pick up a book today. Even just one chapter, even 10 minutes. Start small, but start. Notice how your focus, creativity, and clarity begin to improve. If you found this video helpful and want to keep upgrading your mind every day, hit that like button, subscribe to Mental Upgrade, and turn on notifications so you never miss a tip for mastering your mind. Remember, the power of reading isn't just in the content, it's in the habit, and that habit shapes your thoughts, your decisions, and ultimately, your life.